Hello. Welcome back to Leicester Fan TV for another episode of Fox's Focus. We've got quite a bit to talk about tonight. Sorry. Lots to talk about. Ndidi, as it says in the title, potential signings maybe, or signings that we've already made. We'll talk about it all. So get your comments in. Pre-season as well. There's another pre-season game that's been announced. So get your comments in. Let me know what you think to everything, and especially Ndidi, because that's going to be a big talking point tonight. So let me know what you thought to the Wilfred Ndidi news that we're still waiting to be officially announced by the club, but apparently it is coming soon.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Fox's Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello again, as I said, welcome back to Leicester Fan TV. Let me go through the comments and see who is here. Eddie Craiglington is here. Hi to you, Eddie, mate. Thanks for watching. Ian, the Super Fox, as always, is here. Even looks we moving along with signings. We do seem to be moving along quite nicely so far. Ashley Spence says, anyone know what's happening with Fatawu? We'll talk about that a little bit. Clibo1 says, I hope we're not being overly generous. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that because I've got a feeling we might be being a little bit generous. Maz says, even to you, Maz. Andy Medhurst is here. Good news about Ndidi, but I dread to think what his wages are going to be. Yeah, that's my worry. Matty Bond, evening locks. Even to you, Matty. Robert Cardoza from Tucson, Arizona. What a big guy. Cheers, mate. That's not very nice. In the house. Bubba says, even locks. Great news on Wilf. Yeah. Andreas says, hi, locks. Any news on Fatawu? We'll get to it. And then finally, Clibo again coming in with happy to have him back, but the wages he's allegedly getting does worry me, particularly with our recent track record with finances. Yeah, so as I said before the title screen there, let me know, put in the comments. Let's just start off on one topic rather than going back and forth all over the place. From now, only comment about Wilfred Ndidi, and I'll tell you when we're moving on to something else, and then we'll talk about that and get all the comments up on screen. So, reportedly, Wilfred Ndidi is very close to signing a new contract with Leicester. It's been a bit all over the place in terms of the reported or the rumours, if you like, over the last few weeks. You know, that he was talking to Sevilla, he was talking to Everton, I think he was talking to Celtic apparently at one point. And yeah, he's come back to us. It's like that meme. Anyone seen that Avengers Thanos meme where it's like, you know, you couldn't live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Yes, we have got Wilfred Ndidi, it looks like. So Fabrizio Romano reports that apparently it's a 3-year deal and there's going to be a release clause in that contract. I found that quite interesting, whether it's a relegation release clause maybe, or if it's just a release clause. If it's just a release clause, I can't imagine many clubs, you know, paying. I don't know, it depends. Obviously it depends how highly he rates himself. If he thinks that he's going to be a target in the future for other clubs, then I suppose it'll be useful putting a release clause in there. But maybe it is a relegation release clause, so if we do get relegated again, a club can come in and buy him for us for a cheaper price or whatever. Maybe that is it. But let me know what you think. Chris says Ndidi re-signing is a bonus. I think it is under the circumstances. We're low on midfielders. We've got Harry Winks, we've got Hamza Chowdhury, we've got Michael Golding, the new signing, and we've got Boubacar Asmari. Whether he's staying, we don't know. So there's 4, and then obviously a 5th with Ndidi. Quite defensive options there, I think. Obviously, you've got Goldin and Winks, who are a bit more forward, and Samari, I suppose, can do it. But, with Ndidi and there's no attacking midfielder is basically what I'm saying. Although I did see a clip today of Caleb Akali, the new signing, walking out to training with Michael Goldin. And mid-clip, I think Caleb Akali must have asked Michael Goldin what position he played. Because he probably didn't know. I mean, we don't even know who Michael Goldin is, so obviously Carly wouldn't know. And I think I heard Michael Goldin respond with centre mid or attacking midfield. So that might give us a little bit of insight as to more of the player and what kind of role he might be in at the club. He did say attacking midfield. That clip's on Instagram if you want to go watch it. So yeah, so I think it's a plus. Ndidi coming in, obviously. Yes, the wages we'll talk about in a sec. We might be paying over the odds or maybe the same amount as we were before, but it is a free deal. We haven't spent a transfer fee to get him in, which is a plus for FFP reasons. It means that money that we might have spent on a defensive midfielder or a centre midfielder can now go on a different area potentially or on another player. I know we have Ndidi, but who is replacing Dewsbury Hall? Surely can't be Goldin. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Yeah, we'll stick to Ndidi, but obviously on the topic of midfielders, O'Reilly, I don't think it's going to happen. I never thought it would really. I mean, he's valued at like 35 million, I think, by Celtic, 20 to 35 million. It's like, I don't think we'll be paying that in this, under our current circumstances. Best signing of the summer, if it happened. What, Ndidi? Really? Interesting. Is Callum? Yeah, we're just sticking with Ndidi for now. How many times? Just Ndidi for now. But yeah, no idea on Callum here. Reedy, are you about? Are you free? Yeah, sound. Let's bring Reedy in. There's a load of people who are watching's faces have just dropped now that Reedy's coming in, so that's a shame. But sorry, guys. Hello, mate. You right?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you?
Yes, mate. All good. Quickly, Craig is here now. Hi, Craig. Thanks for watching, mate. Ndidi. I mean, I always say that Reedy hates Ndidi. Right? Reedy hates Ndidi, and I don't actually believe he hates him, but Reedy gave him unnecessary stick last season because Ndidi was one of our better attacking options. He helped us a lot. No, you can't deny it that when he wasn't in the team, African Cup of Nations or injury, we weren't the same team. And I thought that it was unnecessary to give him the stick that he did when he's playing out of position and he's actually doing quite a good job. And you were too easy to jump on Ndidi when you were still backing your man Patson up top. Thank you. So, what do you think to Ndidi right now? What do you think to him signing a new deal in what should be, we'd imagine, his not, a bit more defensive position rather than a number 10?
I'm more than happy to have him back if he plays in that defensive role. Again, for me last season, I wasn't opposed to him playing there, but he was only playing there because we had no other backup in that role. Again, he's higher level than the likes of Cassidy, who was more suited to the role. He's a higher level than most centre attacking mid roles in the Championship. That's why he was playing there in my eyes. Yes, he did connect with Fatawu quite well on them overlaps and stuff like that. But for me, he is a solid DM, and I felt like he was only playing out of position because we had no higher level players in that role. Don't get me wrong, he did well with the stats he did get, but I'm glad he signed. And from what Fabrizio has been saying, he obviously turned down a lot of clubs, which is good to see. But or is it because they didn't give him what he wanted?
Yes, that's definitely what it is. That is definitely what it is. Let's talk about that right now. So he's turned down Sevilla apparently, and he's turned down Everton. And for me, maybe not the Everton side, but if you're turning down Sevilla, if you're turning down Sevilla, that says to me one thing, that they're clearly not offering. Leicester are offering you more money. It's got to be that. It has to be. Well, not just that, maybe the duration of the contract as well. You know, maybe Sevilla are offering, we'll give you a 2-year deal for this much, and Leicester are saying, we'll give you 3 years for this much more. You know, he's probably going to go for the Leicester offer.
You've got to think maybe think that maybe the clubs that have been offered, like Sevilla and stuff, aren't as high level as the Premier League side. Again, yes, we might be in a relegation battle, but a team in the Premier League is probably higher level than a team in the Spanish league, because, again, there's people say like Liga and you've got 1 or 2 teams in the race for top. You've got Spanish league who you probably have 3 or 4. Premier League, you've probably got 5 or 6, maybe even 7 challenging for high spots in the table. Don't get me wrong, obviously it ends with two teams in the end to fight for the title, but the Premier League is the best league in the world. No one can disagree with that.
I would say you would have a point if indeed
maybe he wants to stay in a Premier League side. Maybe going to Everton would have been a sidestep in a way, because then again they're in trouble of maybe getting relegated next season as well. But I get what you mean. I do think he's turned everyone else down because we gave him a better offer, which again is probably the bad side of stuff. But again, as long as he plays in the role that suits him best, then I'm more than happy for him to have him back at the club.
I'd say you would have had a point about the whole higher level thing if he hadn't already played in the Premier League for the last 8 years. I think right now he's played. You know, it's not as if it's a young player or even an older player who's never played in the Premier League and he really wants to play in the Premier League. You know, I think every single footballer on the planet, besides Leicester fans, right now with Leicester's current situation, would probably prefer to play for Sevilla than Leicester right now. In my opinion, people disagree, and I think. Well, I've got severe blue tinted glasses, as people know, but I think that Sevilla is a more attractive team, you know, than Leicester City right now, unless you're a Leicester fan or unless you've never played in the Premier League. Unless you've never played in the Premier League.
I don't see. From what I've seen from Sevilla,
it's the money. It's the money.
From what, yeah, it probably is, and I probably like to say 90% agree with the fact that it probably is the money. But again, the only side that I'd say he has declined offers is because it is still the Premier League. And again, for me, Sevilla the last couple of years haven't really challenged to get into Champions League spots. They have been a mid-table side the last couple of years, from what I can remember.
Yeah, I mean, they've not been. Yeah, they finished not been a high level. They finished 14th.
Yeah, exactly.
14th. Yeah,
and Sumari was there last season.
Yeah, and I don't want to be too harsh on Ndidi and just say it was money motivated. You've got to take into account as well. He obviously has a house here. He's lived here for 8 years. His kids go to school in Leicestershire, so you know that's a big thing to just get up and move. You know what I mean? So that obviously would have been a factor as well. But I think the money is definitely a big factor. So. Sevilla would have European football, so it's the money. Yeah, they don't have European. They don't have European football actually this season, Andy. But they may, you know, next year. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. If his heart wasn't in staying, he'd snap Sevilla hands on it. Yeah, unless the money. I don't think he was set, really, because he's clearly explored his options. It's not like, oh yes, I'm staying at Leicester no matter what.
He should be allowed to explore his options. He's out of contract.
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not blaming you. No, I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying that he's out of contract. He's got options to go elsewhere. I think Bayern Munich and Barcelona were looking at him at one point. If they were coming in, he would have snapped their hands off.
Paper talk.
No, but you know what I mean? If there were the options to go to, he would have not have signed for us again. That's what I'm saying. That's why the little 10% of me is saying that he wants to stay, because it is better than the options he's got to go to, in my eyes.
I think he's happy to stay. That's where I would put it in my mind. I think he's happy to stay. But I think if a club offered him the same money with the same duration, 3 years, and it was a bigger club than Leicester, let's be honest, you know, a bigger club than Leicester. We're not bigger than Sevilla, as many fans in the chat might disagree with. It's true. Sevilla are a bigger club. I think if a club like that came in and offered in the same terms and all that, he probably would have gone, to be honest with you. But it doesn't matter, really. He's here. He's here for another year. He's here for this season.
At least another year,
Obviously,
yeah.
he's got a release clause. Yeah, at least another year. And at maximum,
He
3
might be a
years.
big reason why
can't
we
see him
stay up.
staying here past 30.
He might be a big reason we stay up.
Yeah, I mean, look, we had a different Wilfred Ndidi last season because he was playing as an advanced eight. He was playing in an attacking role, winning the ball high up the pitch, which, that's, Enzo Maresca, I don't think, played him there because he has the technical or attacking ability. He played in there because a part of Enzo's system was winning the ball high up the pitch, and he's a ball winner by heart, naturally. So
I'm pretty sure as well.
Wilfred Ndidi in the first...
I'm pretty sure, I think most fans would have wanted, if you said, who would you want in that double pivot with wings, you would have said Ndidi over Sumare or Chowdhury. This is the main reason why I'm glad that he's staying, because he's probably the highest level defensive mid we've got other than wings.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think we had the first 4 or 5 years of Ndidi were great. I mean, he was linked with Man United.
It was probably the best
Arsenal every season.
It was probably the top 3 centre mids in the league.
Yeah, he was behind Kante, funny enough.
Yeah.
So, and then he dropped off a cliff from 2020 probably 2020. I'd say
I think
maybe
it was injuries, weren't it? That's why.
And he had his injuries and we missed him. But even when he was back in the team, he was just a bit hit and miss. So hopefully we can get him back. If he is going to be playing in that deeper role next season, hopefully we can he can be back to his best. Although I probably shouldn't go into the conspiracy. Have you heard the Wilfred Ndidi conspiracy theory about his age? Have you heard this?
No, but I don't think it really matters, does it?
You didn't know this?
No.
Well, he was obviously he's 27, I think, officially. And he is 27, isn't he? Officially.
It seems like he should be older, mate. No amount of time we've had him for.
27. So he's 27. But 10 years ago or so, there was a what's the word I'm looking for? A scandal in Nigerian football where fake ages and fake birth certificates were given out to certain football players. And apparently, rumor has it, Ndidi was a part of that scandal. And he is actually 33, 6 years older. Now, in my mind, it actually makes sense.
It wouldn't be surprising.
To me, it makes sense because... Yeah, it makes sense to me because he suddenly dropped off a cliff 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago. I'm thinking, hold on, is that a sign of getting a bit older? But it is a conspiracy. Officially, he is 27, so we will stick with that. 27 years old. Anyway, maybe Kelechi Iheanacho was always 35. Maybe that's his excuse. Right, let's move on. So we will go. Well, let's quickly touch on Fatawu. So I've started to see quite a lot of people getting worried about the Fatawu deal online, even though a week ago we saw him at the King Power Stadium. Even though Rob Tanner has said on podcasts recently, don't worry about it. People are starting to get worried. I understand why people are worried because it makes no sense to me why it hasn't been announced. Because I was saying that why has
everyone else been announced for him?
Yeah, it's weird. Everyone probably would have thought he would be the first one named because the deal was agreed and all this. So unless it's something to do with, I don't know. I honestly the contract, but I don't know. I don't know what it could be. But anyway,
people in the office are saying that there could be a reason why we're waiting for the away kit or something like that. But it seems a bit stupid to be waiting for another kit to be announced.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Because as far as we're aware, he's not even in training. Which is a bit
I've not
weird.
seen him in any clips
there
or
as well.
No.
No, I mean, and that could just be clipped to not show him. But I'd imagine there's a lot of photos as well online, and you'd think someone would spot him in the background. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But we have obviously full expectation he will be a Leicester City player. Let's move on. There was a comment earlier on. I just wanted to quickly address this as well. I don't know if you saw this, Reedy, quite recently. Where's it gone? I can't find the comment. Anthony Knockaert has retired from professional football. 32 years old. There it is. Bradley Norman. Thank you, Bradley. Yeah, Knockaert retired. He announced his retirement today. There were photos of him actually last week at someone's wedding. Maybe it was his wedding. I think it was his wedding with Andy King and whoever else. And I think Mahrez was there at one point. Yeah, I'm sure Mahrez was there at one point. So yeah, obviously Knockaert. I mean, for me, he's one of my favorite Leicester players ever. From that 2 seasons in the Championship, the last 2 seasons in the Championship, the goal against Forest, Reedy's team, Forest. Sorry about that, Reedy. That's probably why you don't like Knockaert, do you? Because of that. No, and anyone who, people might remember the commentary as well from Ian Stringer, the allez le bleu, with that goal to secure playoffs, which he actually then went and missed a penalty, didn't he? I forgot about that. But yeah. So, but no, congratulations, if that's how you say it, to retired people. Good career. Went to Brighton, did quite well at Brighton as well, Huddersfield, all of that. So Forest at one point. I think he went to Forest. I'm sure he went to Forest. Knockaert.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Anthony Knockaert went to Forest. Let me just confirm it. I'm sure he went to Forest quite late on.
I cannot remember him being there. I will say that.
Yes, he was. He went Leicester, so Gwyncamp, Leicester, Standard Liège, Brighton, and then on loan to Fulham. Went to Fulham permanently, then on loan to Forest, Huddersfield, and he finished his career last season at Valenciennes in what I imagine is France. So yes, thank you for that, Scarlett, as well, Dini. Exactly. That's what, unfortunately for him, that is what most people will remember Knockaert for. But I remember him for that playoff goal, and also, well, not the playoff goal, the goal to get us in the playoffs, and also the free kick against Sheffield Wednesday in that the title winning season. But he didn't really do anything in the Premier League, if I remember rightly. No, he didn't really. So yeah. What else? Oh, yeah, and Richard Stearman. Reedy definitely won't know Richard Stearman. I didn't really see him. I think he left Leicester in 2009. It was very early on. He probably played. My first game that I ever went to was against Bristol Rovers, so he was probably played in that in League One. But I don't remember seeing him play. So yeah, also to him, although I think he did drop us in the shit actually, so maybe not congratulations to him actually. I think he was a bit of a knobhead in the end. So yeah. All right, what do you think to this one then, Reedy? O'Hare, the rumours that he failed a medical, they're the latest rumours on Twitter, on X. Probably a load of crap. But regardless of whether he failed a medical or not, we've spoken about this one for ages. Since he scored against us, I think, probably, for Coventry. Would you like him? I mean, I'm not overly fussed on him. I just think he's a good Championship player.
Do you know what? Every single fan has mentioned him the moment we lost to Coventry. That was the moment where like, oh, he looks amazing, looks brilliant. I've never heard of him before that, really. I never really saw anything amazing from him, all because of that one game where they beat us. Everyone's craving over him. I wouldn't say I wouldn't want him, because we are lacking that actual number 10. We've not had a number 10 since we lost Maddison start of last year. So again, I want to find that number 10. I'm really wanting to find that number 10, and I wish we could get that Fabio Carvalho from Liverpool. We're not going to get him, but I think that would be my perfect number 10. But O'Hare, again, he's failed his medical. If it's true, then fair enough, but it is what it is. We've just got to look for that number 10 for me. We've got to find that number 10, otherwise we wouldn't be creating anything in the attack.
Well, you talk about number 10. That takes me on to this little subject here. Sula. Matthias Sula. Now, for those who don't know, Matthias Sula is a winger, really. An out-and-out. Well, not an out-and-out, but he's a winger. Juventus on loan last season at Frosinone with Caleb Akali. Earlier this week, or I think it was maybe late last week, just rumour came out of nowhere from one of these third-tier journalists that Leicester were trying to sign him for 25 million euros, but Juventus want 30, 35, 40 million euros. I even saw comments, I even saw reports over the last couple of days saying that we were trying to put Victor Christiansen in the deal, and that pissed me off. But Sula, you know, I think a lot of people were like, well, no, we're not going to pay that much money for a winger when we've got Fatawu and Ndidi. And then people then started saying, well, no, he could play 10. He can play in the number 10, which he has done before, to be fair. I don't know how much to... I think there's definitely something there. Like this, I think there's probably been inquiries, Reedy.
No, I don't want it to. I honestly don't want it to happen.
Because of the price?
Well, mainly like for what we've got to spend. I said to Phil as well. I said if we had £10 million on 3 players, I'd be more than happy with that. But £30 million or even £35 million on 1 player. This for me as well. If we do go for him, we have to put that much money into a player. He's got to be insanely good instantly. He's got to be.
No, but you can't. No, but you can't get that anymore. You can't get that for that much money. When we got Yuri Tillemans for 40 million, that will never happen again. You know, that was a lot of money for us.
I do get
now,
that. But for the money we've got, you wouldn't. I can't even fathom the reason why we could spend that much money on 1 player. 3 players for 10 million. I'd say, do you know what? If one or two of them don't work, we've took the risk in it because they only cost us 10 million or so. But 35 to 40 million on 1 player, for me, yes, I know you're saying you can't get insanely players for that much now. I'm not saying he has to be insane. What I'm saying is he's got to be a key player in our team that keeps us up or to score a lot of goals for the amount we're paying for.
Well, as it stands, he would be because we haven't got a 10. So he would be the only 10.
If he does well,
I've just got this feeling. Fair enough. I've just got this feeling. Because we all know FFP is a problem, but we've never known how much of a problem it is and how no one knows the ins and outs of FFP and all of this. I don't know. I've just got this feeling that we are spending big this summer because
it feels like
when you go and splash 15. Well, if you go and splash 15 million quid on Caleb Akali, who's unproven, really played for a relegated team last season from Serie A, and you've already got Connor Cody, Wout Faes, Yannick Vestergaard, Harry Suter, Ben Nelson. It just feels like the club aren't holding back. Yes, we got Bobby Decordova-Reid, which is a free deal, and I think we've always looked at free deals. We've signed free deals before. It's not just because it's FFP, but I don't know. Something just feels like we're spending big again, and I think maybe trying to actually give it a really good go at staying up.
I think that's the case. I honestly think that is. If we do spend this money on this Sula guy, fair enough. And I feel like it could kill us if we don't stay up. Again, it would honestly destroy us if we did spend this money on loads of players and then we didn't stay up with it. I like to see the effort for it, and if we do stay up, then fair play to him. But like that Okoli signing, I honestly think that's a brilliant signing. He's a fast young defender from Italy. If he does anywhere near well in our team this season, he will go for more than 30-40 million.
Yeah, that is he is the type of player
I feel like it could be insane. I feel like it could be another Fofana.
Well, that's the type of player that you get these days. 15 million. I'm saying about. I mean, Fofana was. I think Fofana was 30 million. I'm sure Fofana was 30 million. So it's half the price of, 28 or something. But if you're going to spend 30 million on a winger or on let's just say Matthias Sula, I would much rather spend much rather spend that 30 million on Matt O'Reilly all day long. Long.
Matt O'Reilly
goal scorer, mate. Goal scorer.
Matt O'Reilly looks like he's going to Atalanta. So
I did see that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that today. I'm just saying that that's what doesn't make sense. If we were looking at O'Reilly and he's going to cost too much, it then doesn't make any sense to go and buy Matthias Sula for 35 million. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. Scott says, I think we need to have more faith in Martin Glover. Might be our best piece of business for some time. Okali, you mean? Yes. We'll see what happens with that. We've already spoken about Fatawu. If you rewind about 10 minutes. Martin Glover. Does anybody in the chat know when Martin Glover came to Leicester City? If somebody can tell me, I might just be able to find it here, actually. Because he's the chief scout, mate. I think he came to the club. I'm just trying to have a look. Head of scouting. September 15th, 2022. So was that was after the relegation? Okay. Sorry, that was the start of the relegation season. So that makes sense to me because yes, we brought in Tete, but it was a loan. Harry Souttar, let's be honest, mate, it wasn't the worst of signings if you look at it as if he actually played. You know, he would have done a job for us last season in the Championship. Christiansen, I still stand by, is a good signing if he's actually utilised. I think if he plays all of next season, he could have some resale value. As it stands, trying to shoehorn him into a deal for Matthias Sola makes no sense to me when we literally need fullbacks.
If it made if it made the deal cheaper and we got Sola for 15 to 20 million, I'd be like, okay, I'm happy to let him go for that because in Serie A last year, Christiansen was, I don't know how well he did, but he was in a team that got Champions League football, so maybe
he did get, he was good.
Wants this sort of player.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. He couldn't do any work until January 2023. So yeah, again, Harry Souttar, Tete and Christiansen, Mavididi, Hermansen, Winks, Fatawu, you know,
a lot of them are good signings.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. So yeah, so I think we can be hopeful that that he is going to continue that form. We can hope that he makes the right decisions, and obviously a Carly is one of them. He was head of scouting at Southampton before that for the 3 years prior. Then he was at Everton for 3 years, Sunderland, Leeds, West Ham, Blackburn.
Thing is,
he's been around.
I've not been the big. I'm happy with the signings we made this season already. Like this, the three we've made are very decent for this new Premier League season. We've not gone for someone who's, again, people say that the Collie guy has got relegated and whatnot. You can't put it down to him. You can't. He looks like a young defender who wants to show what he can do. 20-year-old Italian. He's obviously this like wonder kid that could be, I think, amazing. So you never know. But I'm not annoyed with any of the signs we made at the moment. I just hope that we keep going with obviously Fatawu and then whoever comes next. Again, I was asking Sam the other day who he thinks we need now. Is how many more signings we'll need before the new season? He said maybe 1 or 2 after Fatawu. I'd probably say I'm happy with that, but all depends on who we bring in.
Yeah, Cannon as well. We've got to remember was a Martin Glover signing, so we'll have to see how that one plays out. There's again another thing that doesn't make sense to me that he's linked with the loan move. I don't understand it. I think you've got to give him a chance at least, especially with a manager who likes working with youngsters. Just as well on Martin Glover, I've just found a quote here that Enzo Maresca last season actually did confirm that Martin Glover was the person who found Abdul Fatawu. It was Martin Glover who found him. So plenty to look forward to, hopefully. Ross says Tete, the one game wonder. Yeah, and it's just as always, I'm sure there's a player in there, but it just didn't work out for him. But that first game was great. But after that,
the only Brazilian we've ever had.
Yeah.
Is it, I was going to say we've only ever had one Argentinian. Oh no, there's 2, isn't there? I might remember. Ujera and
who?
Cambiasso.
We've had 3.
Sula.
Had 3.
Who's the other one? Caballero.
Roberto Mancini.
What, as a player?
Yeah. Did you not know this?
I did not know that. No.
No, he's not Italian. He's Italian. What am I talking about? I don't know why I thought he was Argentinian.
So there's only 2.
Honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea why I thought he was Argentinian. Yeah, it must be 2. It must be 2. Yeah, I don't know why I said Argentinian. Yeah.
Did you see what's on my screen?
What was that? Oh, I know.
The news just came behind me.
Yeah, I know what it was. Yeah, I think I've got. What have I got here?
I've not done anything.
No, but it was it was because of the thing. So yeah, I know. Yeah, I fucking know Mancini's Italian.
So there's only been 2 Argentinians at the club, wasn't there? Ujara and Cambiasso, and now it could be Sula as third. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, what else is there? I think that's it for now. Obviously we'll just keep getting transfer rumors here, there, and everywhere. And then I don't know. I think that's it, really. Who else we linked with? We're not really linked with anyone. We've spoken about O'Reilly, but that's dead and buried pretty much. Sula probably going to be dead and buried before too long. But we've got to remember that Bobby De Cordova-Reid came out of absolutely nowhere. There were no rumors or anything until John Percy dropped a bomb late one night. And so you never know. We could be moving in silence again, and we just don't know. Something could be happening right now, and we have no idea. It does make me think, how nice must it have been 10, 15 years ago when there were no reports of players. It would just be like an announcement, you know what I mean, on the news, and that was it. Now we have weeks of, oh, they're talking to him, they're talking to him, they're talking to him. Oh, they're talking, they're agreeing deals, and Fabrizio Romano giving the same update 4 times a day. And but I think that's why the De Cordova-Reid signing was quite nice, just because it came out of nowhere and it was done quite quickly. So yeah. Anyway, give me one name that you want us to sign this summer.
Yeah, Fabio Carvalho.
It's a bit of an underwhelming choice, mate.
Not really. He did very well at Hull.
Ooh.
Okay, if not him, Smodics, but that's just because I want a cam. I want to.
Oh my God, 2 stinkers. 2 stink.
Come on,
Carvalho.
Who would you want in that attack? You're not going to get him here. He's been one of Atalanta's best bloody players. Like, I'm saying that the one player in that attacking midfielder role, who you're going to ask for? You're not going to get any of the Premier League level players, because they're not going to drop down from a high level team in the Premier League to come to us unless they're out of the picture, like a Moon Smith Rowe, someone like that. Maybe so. Or like Scarlett said, that Sarah guy from Norwich, someone like that.
I'll tell you who I want.
I'm not asking for Lingard or anything, am I?
Yeah. See, there's some good names coming in there. I think Gabriel Sara, don't think it will happen. Matt O'Reilly or Callum O'Hare. I'd say O'Reilly, but it's unrealistic. For a more realistic one, there's been no chance. Well, there's been no rumor of this player at all, and he only joined his current club last summer. But I'm going to say Gustavo Hamer from Sheffield United, who was at Coventry the year before. You don't know him, Gus Hamer?
I do know him. I don't think he'll leave.
He played against us in the first game of the season before he left for Coventry, and he did quite well. He did quite well. He was probably their best player. So yeah, that's my one, but that's out of thin air. He can play further forward, but he does play further back mostly, so it might be useless. But yeah, so I'll go Matt O'Reilly or Gus Hamer. He did tear us apart, Terry. Yeah, you're right. All right, Reedy, what's happening this weekend? He wasn't poor. They were poor. Tell you who was poor. Luke bloody Thomas, and he's back at the club. Don't get me started on him. Anyway, what's happening this weekend? What time's Jamie's show and stuff, mate?
Jamie's show is at 9:30, and obviously, you know what else is happening at the weekend? It's England versus Spain. So you never know. Do you know what? I'll say this on record. I don't think we'll ever win against Spain.
Well, I don't support England, but I will say that England will win the Euros, unfortunately. They will. They'll win it. They will. They'll win it, unfortunately. They had 2 good tournaments in the World Cup and the Euros and didn't win it. And they've had a stinky tournament and they'll probably win it. So, yeah, I don't know. I won't like that, but I'll take the bank holiday that people are talking about happily. So, you're going to do a watch-along, really, mate? Got to do a watch-along for the final or something?
I'm all right, thanks.
No, you'll be at the pub. Will you be at the pub?
There. I would rather sit there and drown my sorrows, mate.
Is Phil giving you all the day off if England win?
No, of course he's not.
On Monday?
Of course he's not.
That's not very nice. I'd be able
to
Tesco.
I know Tesco.
Everyone... Are they? Everyone in the chat say, Phil, let Reedy have a day off on Monday. And then Reedy can tell Phil. But all right, mate. Cheers. Thanks, Reedy, mate. We'll see you soon. Cheers, pal. Much appreciated. Yeah. Apart from who did he say? Who did Reedy say? Lingard? No, he didn't say Lingard. Who was it he said? You said Fabio Carvalho and Smodics. Yeah. I'm not sold on Smodics, but all right, that's it. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for, well, if you haven't hit the like button, do it now, please. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Most of you already have, I know that. So everyone who will be watching England on Sunday, I hope you're all crying on Sunday night. Hope you have a terrible evening. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks all for watching. Much appreciated. I'll see you next Thursday. And as always, come on, you foxes.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news, views and videos.